Prepare to be knighted and dive further into the friend zone because we have the latest episode of Game of Thrones and...
Take your own bloody pants off.
Oh my god. Joking aside, this episode is chock full of new details, so join me as we break it down, discuss your burning questions, and have a little fun along the way. And we get right into it with Jaime Lannister, seemingly on trial for being the traitorous scum Sansa and Daenerys make him out to be. After all, Jaime is the Kingslayer, having killed Dany's father, Aerys Targaryen, the Mad King, and also was responsible for bringing in Ned Stark, who was later executed. Dany's brother, Viserys, who was killed by molten gold by her husband Khal Drogo, warned her of the evils of Jaime and the Lannisters. After all, Cersei pledged to send an army north, and the only one to show up was Jaime, a point Tyrion uses to defend his brother.
Your Grace, I know my brother.
Like you knew your sister.
Jaime defends himself, saying this was a time of war. He would do anything to defend his family, which he truly believed to be the right thing to do at the time. And Bran comes in echoing Jaime's infamous line from episode 1.
The things we do for love.
The things I do for love.
The question then becomes, why doesn't Bran just tell everyone about Jaime pushing him from the tower all those years ago? This plays a pivotal role in understanding how the next few episodes will play out, but we'll get to that in a bit. Then, a moment we've all been waiting for, Brienne of Tarth sticks up for Sir Jaime, putting her neck on the line to defend the honor and integrity of her secret man crush. Come on guys, if she ends up with Tormund, we riot. Making an impassioned speech, she tells Sansa that if it weren't for Jaime, neither of them would be alive, and Sansa ends up making the decision for him to stay, a choice Dany isn't too keen on. She asks Jon what he thinks, but Jon is so conflicted from the revelation last episode that he's the rightful heir to the throne, he spends most of the episode avoiding her like the alpha male that he is. Dany is pissed as at Tyrion for him having trusted Cersei, especially since she took his advice as Hand of the Queen. She tells Varys and Ser Jorah that she suspects one of them will be Hand before this is all over, insinuating Tyrion will be fired or dead before this season is done. We love Tyrion, I wouldn't bet on him losing his job anytime soon. Lords and ladies, we need to talk about Gendry and Arya, cause hot damn these scenes are... When Arya isn't checking him out, she's wondering where the hell her special weapon is from episode 1. Remember this cool thing with the detachable part? You bet your ass this is going to come into play later this season. Whether it will be to kill Cersei or the White Walkers, yes it's made out of dragon glass, we've yet to know, but it'll likely play a big role in the episodes to come. Then Arya shows off her dagger skills, turning on Gendry big time. And look at this dude over here after Arya's thrown like 3 daggers. Oh shit, I should get out of here. Now for the scene we've all been waiting for.
Oh, what those cool new skates? Now you be careful with those. You don't want to fall and break something.
Oh, that's funny. That's real funny. Let me give you a hand.
Jaime starts by apologizing, but Bran knows Jaime was simply protecting his family. In fact, if it weren't for Jaime throwing him out the window, the chain of events that resulted in Bran becoming the Three-Eyed Raven never would have happened. But the biggest revelation in this scene is why Bran didn't tell anyone about Jaime pushing him out from the tower.
You won't be able to help us in this fight if I let them murder you first.
Yes, since Bran has seen the future, he knows Jaime plays an integral role in fending off the White Walkers. And when Jaime says,
"What about afterwards?"
How do you know there is an afterwards?
Now this has a double meaning. 1, that everyone dies and there will be nothing after the battle, or 2, what I think is more plausible is that he's alluding that Jaime will die. If not in the Battle of Winterfell, but before the season is done. Jaime must fulfill this destiny Bran knows. Now whether this is killing Cersei or the Night King, making him once again a Kingslayer, we have yet to find out. But I think we can all agree he at least needs to get it on with Brienne before he meets his end. In a heartfelt scene between the Lannister bros, Tyrion reveals he underestimated Cersei, and should have never trusted that her new pregnancy would change her, even asking Jaime if it's true. Is she actually pregnant? Jaime says yes, but hold on a minute. Is that Cersei drinking wine while pregnant last episode?
Shame!
Yes, my theory is that she isn't pregnant at all, and she's using it to manipulate the men in her life. And back on the wall, Jaime seems to only have eyes for Brienne. Notice all the bits of dragon glass they've set along the ramparts in preparation for the coming invasion. Podrick's sword skills are getting as good as his singing. Jaime tries to pick up Brienne and she ain't having it.
We have never had a conversation last this long without you insulting me. Not once.
You want me to insult you? No!
Good.
He's a changed man, Brienne. He just wants to fight alongside you. Captain Friendzone, aka Jorah Mormont, appeals to Dany on Tyrion's behalf, telling her that Tyrion is an honorable man. But he also suggests she should have a chat with Sansa, who's wearing... What the hell? Did I not get an invitation to the Winterfell BDSM party? And Sansa also vouches for her ex-husband Tyrion, to which Dany says,
He never should have trusted Cersei.
You never should have either.
Awkward!
Then Sansa drops the line that families are complicated. No shit, Dany is boning her nephew. And after she tells Sansa her whole life has been nothing but the pursuit of the Iron Throne, wait till she finds out her lover is the rightful heir. She tells Sansa the only other man she's trusted in her life was a lot taller. Of course she's talking about Aquaman. But before they can discuss who will eventually take over the North, they're interrupted by Westeros' favorite eunuch, Theon Greyjoy. He has come to make amends with the Starks, especially after all that shit he's caused them, and Sansa seems to be forgiving. A whole video could be done on the history of Theon and Sansa's relationship, but for the sake of keeping this video short, this poignant scene seems to show that Sansa has forgiven him. Here are some children eating Arby's. Davos here quells the fears of local civilians who are being armed for the fight. Remember, Davos isn't a fighter either, but he himself survived the Battle of the Bastards. If he can do it, so can others. Then Gilly appears telling the old people and children to settle down in the crypts. But honestly, is that the safest place to be? The Night King can raise the dead. Does this mean we could potentially see old Stark skeletons rising from the crypts? Just throwing it out there, guys. Then this girl is like,
Please, sir, I want some more.
And Davos is taken aback because this young girl reminds him of Shireen Baratheon, Stannis Baratheon's daughter who was too hot to handle. The burn marks on her face reminiscent of Shireen's grayscale. And can we all just take a moment to remember how Shireen taught Davos how to read? Aww. Then a blowhorn signals the arrival of Edison, Tormund, and Beric Dondarrion, who we saw last episode examining the mysterious symbol the Night King left at Last Hearth. They made it just in time before the White Walkers are to attack, which Tormund says they'll be here before the sun rises tomorrow. But really, he has one thing on his mind.
The big woman's still here?
Then we have Jon Snow warning us of the impending invasion, how they're amassing heaps of dragon glass. And one of the things I love best about this montage is how they show Dothraki, Unsullied, and Wildlings in the same shot. Three completely different peoples from different walks of life banding together united to stop a common enemy. Brings a tear to my frozen heart. Now take a moment here to look how outnumbered they are on this map. It looks at least 5-1, and Jon even says they can't beat them in a straight out fight. They need a plan, and that plan involves defeating the Night King. They kill him, boom, war is over. And how can they get at him? By using Bran as bait. Bran says the Night King has come many times for many three-eyed ravens, hinting that this war has been won over countless centuries. The Night King won't stop until there is an endless night. Bran also has the mark of the Night King, which, if you'll remember from Season 6, was given to him when he stayed too long in the three-eyed raven's vision. A vision which eventually led the Night King to kill the old three-eyed raven, but was unsuccessful in doing it fully since the three-eyed raven transferred his powers to the new host, Bran. This mark acts as a tracking device, leading the Night King and his army to Bran. They can thus use Bran to lure the Night King. Theon offers to protect Bran, a significant reversal since seasons ago Theon took Winterfell from the Starks. Now he's here to defend them, but the big question is whether Dany's dragons will be able to stop the oncoming horde, and for once Bran doesn't seem to have an answer. He says no one has ever tried Dragonfire against the White Walkers. We might just be able to find that out next episode. Missandei tries to make friends with some children of the North, but is rejected.
That's racist.
This is all a preamble to Grey Worm asking her what she wants to do when this is all over. They talk about moving back south to the beaches and how he'll swear himself to protect her, but all I can think about is how this foreshadows Grey Worm's death, probably in some heroic feat protecting Missandei, so let's keep an eye out for that. And look, Sam and Jon on a wall, just like the good old days. Sam wants to fight up top with the real men, reminding Edison and Jon that he was the first one to kill a White Walker, and his badass has stolen a considerable amount of books.
Well, if that's what it's come to, we really are.
Tyrion remarks on how ironic it is two Lannisters are now defending Winterfell, but their party is cut short. Oof, the puns are bad. By Brienne and Podrick, and my man Tyrion pouring a full-ass glass of wine.
Then in here, 2 shots of vodka.
Davos and Tormund are soon to join, with Tormund giving us some weird story about giant titty sucking, which only reminds me of... Now yes, this is more of a comic relief scene, but it also acts as a significant sign that Tormund will not end up with Brienne, and that Jaime is her OTL. Now this scene with the Hound wasn't really necessary, but it was good to check up on him right before the impending battle. My prediction is that the Hound will make it out of the Battle of Winterfell alive, since we have yet to see Clegane Bowl, the Hound versus the Mountain. Now there is nothing that turns on a girl more than a custom spear, and she is grilling Gendry about his love life more than my father-in-law about mine. But hey, her charm seems to be working with the worst pickup line in history.
We're probably going to die soon. I ought to know what it's like before that happens.
Yes, my results using that weren't as effective. Gendry and Arya get it on in what is obviously a hot pie wet dream. Tyrion offers a glimmer of hope, saying that they might actually live through this. And the irony isn't lost on him that almost everyone in this room used to fight against the Starks. And get out your tissues, ladies and gentlemen, we have a knighting ceremony.
An attendant to a knight?
I'm not a knight.
And Jaime is the one to knight Brienne. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Jorah tries to persuade Lyanna not to fight. She's the future of the Mormont house after all, but she refuses. For those wondering, they are both cousins, even though this crazy age difference. Also notice the warriors in the background carrying the sigil of House Arryn on their shields, which we haven't seen in some time. Jon Arryn's death was the event which sparked the entire Game of Thrones story, sending Eddard to King's Landing and the subsequent events that followed. Sam gives his family sword, Heartsbane, to Jorah, a sword made of Valyrian steel held in the Tarly family for centuries. But since Sam can't even hold the darn thing up, he feels it a fitting gift, since Jorah was the son of the old Night Watch commander who taught Sam how to be a man. Then Podrick sings a song on the eve of the giant battle, played over a montage of our characters. And to me, it was just like that scene in Titanic where the orchestra is playing and everyone is succumbing to the reality of their situation. Hot. In the crypts, Dany asks Jon WTF is up, and he lets the direwolf out of the bag by telling her he's the son of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen, making him the rightful heir of the Seven Kingdoms, and her nephew. Now remember in her scene with Sansa, she told her the only thing she's held on all these years is claiming the Iron Throne. With this new bombshell, she doesn't seem to be taking it too well, even questioning its validity. But before they can work it all out, the battle horns blare. The Battle of Winterfell is upon us. And one thing I found a little curious is why they didn't end the episode on the Night King. To me it seems like it would be the logical choice to end on him, but not showing him raises a lot of questions. Is he even there? Is he riding on the dragon? We'll find out next episode, which the showrunners claim is the longest continuous action scene ever put to film. I am pumped, and I hope you'll join me, and as always, if you like the breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. I'll be doing one every episode, so hang on tight. And remember, Daddy loves you very much.